Now I have created these floating shamrock towel toppers using cotton yarn. You can use acrylic, it doesn't matter. You can use a 3-inch wooden ring or a 2-inch wooden ring. As you can see, this is a good bit smaller. Now, if your towel is fluffy, you can still use this 2-inch wooden ring. Just accordion fold the towel and smash it. Once you accordion fold it, and then feed it through the ring, getting all of your pieces through, and then it just comes through really nice. And then you have your towel topper crocheted on the top of that, or the tab crocheted on the top, and it folds over. But I think it will be harder for an animal like a doggy or a cat to come and strip that out of the ring. So you may want to consider a 2-inch wooden ring. Today I will be showing you a combination of a 2-inch and a 3-inch wooden ring. I'll be using this lime green to make the shamrock. This is a cotton yarn. It's by Crafter's Secret from Hobby Lobby. And then I will, this will be the shamrock. This will be the towel tab. This will be the tab. Now I have one that is almost finished. So I'll be doing some finagling of yarn. I'm also using an H crochet hook by Susan Bates. And as you can tell, it's pretty worn. I don't know if you can see the letters, but it's a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. So let's get started. So I'll be using a darker yarn just to get this started. But you need your 2-inch ring or 3-inch ring. You can also use plastic rings like drapery rings, or plastic shower curtain rings, and clip off that little top. If they have, use some wire cutters, clip them off, whatever. But you need a ring. So let's make a slip knot first. Make a slip knot in whatever manner that you like to make. Now I'm holding my yarn tail in my right hand. I put my working yarn in my working hand. Then I reach down and I grab the ring. This first stitch will need to be loose. You don't want it to be tight. And then I go into the ring, kind of push it up, pull up a loop. Make sure these legs do not cross. Yarn over and pull through 2. And that's a single crochet. Again, we will need to do this 9 times. We need 9 single crochets on the ring. That's 2. All right. In the ring, pull up a loop. Make sure the legs aren't crossed. Now this does not need to be tight. Shove it over, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we have 3 single crochets on the ring. Make sure the tops of your stitches are at the top of the ring. The thread or the yarn is on the outside of the ring. The hook goes to the inside of the ring. Let me speed up my camera. This is number 8. Now shove those together. I just finished the 8th stitch. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to finish the last stitch. This is the last single crochet, and this does not need to be tight, but it does need to be neat. All right, chain 1. The second row is half double crochet in each stitch across. So yarn over. This is our first stitch right here. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, put the hook right in that stitch right there. Insert hook, pull up a loop. You have 3, 1, 2, 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. You place a half double crochet in each stitch across. And I'll speed up the camera. This last stitch can be a little tricky, but I'll show you how to do that. All right, I'm coming up on the 8th stitch. Now this 9th stitch can be just a little tricky. So when you're making that first single crochet around the ring, make sure that it is loose. I don't know if you can tell, but that's slightly loose. It needs to be loose. Now here is what needs to happen. You need the hook to go into that stitch under the top 2 loops, but when it comes through the back side, you need it to come in between these 2 loops. This is the hardest part of this project. All right, so let me show you how to do it. It's a little bit of work, so yarn over, insert hook under the top 2 loops. Now I use my ring finger, this finger, to push this leg, off to the side so that my hook will go in between. First time is not always the charm here. Most of the time I get it wrong and I have to back out and do it again. So let's see if we can get it. This is really tight. It's a tight, you have to dig and push. All right, let me try again. My old fingers just don't do as well as they used to. You younger folks will probably get this just right off the bat. Oh, I made it. Oh, woohoo, I made it. As you can see, my hook is in front of the leg. All right, here we go. I'm not even sure if leg is the correct terminology. So let's finish this half double crochet. Like I said, this is the hardest part of this. Well, the shamrock can be a little bit difficult. I'll walk you through it. It's not really that hard. All right, so chain 1 and turn, and we'll put a single crochet in the first stitch, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double, da 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 da, all the way across. We have 9 stitches here, 9 half double crochets. We'll have 9 stitches when we are finished. So single crochet right here, double crochet right here, single crochet and double crochet, and I will speed up the camera and meet you at the end. Okay, last double crochet. Whoops, lost my loops. That happens. Here we go. And the last single crochet. There we go. Chain 1 and turn, and a single crochet in each stitch across. And you'll still have an end stitch count of 9 stitches or 9 single crochets. Let me speed up the camera. Okay, now we end up with a 2-row repeat that we will execute through row 12. So here's how that repeat works. To just go over that with you, I'll place the written part right here. Now that you've looked at the pattern, you'll understand that there is a 2-row repeat. So you will repeat row 3 and row 4 until you get to row 12. Let me repeat row 3 one more time for you. Row 3 is a single crochet in the first stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, repeat that pattern all the way across. Let me speed the camera up. Okay, I'm on the last stitch, and then it's chain 1, turn. This is the right side of your work. Now I have a sample that is ready. Okay, so this is my sample that is ready. Now I'm at row 12. Row 12 is all single crochet stitches. I need row 13 to be a repeat of the single crochet, double crochet row. Let me finish that real quick for you. This is row 13. Remember, we have 9 stitches. All right, so there we go. Now we have 9 stitches. The next row we need 10 stitches, and this next row is all single crochet. So single crochet in the first 4 stitches, just 1 stitch in the first 4 stitches. There's my 4. Okay, now I'm going to execute 2. This will be an increase. 2 stitches right here, and then 1 stitch in the last 4. So in the 5th stitch, you will place 2 single crochet stitches. Now we have an end stitch count on row 14 of 10 stitches. Now we're going to chain 2 and turn. This chain 2 does not count as a stitch. It's just a turning chain. And now we execute 1 double crochet in each stitch across in this row, and this end stitch count will be 10. We need the posts of these double crochet stitches to place the shamrock stitch on. The floating shamrock will be placed around the 5th post, the top of the stitch below, and the 6th post. So let's get started on that. But first we need to chain 1 and turn, and we'll be placing single crochet stitches. So we're going to execute 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. But on this 5th single crochet, we're going to drop our main color, and we're going to pull up the contrasting color. And I'm using the lime green. So I've got a hold of this yarn tail in the back. All right, I don't want a big loop coming up. All right, let me get this yarn straight. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the contrasting color. Now I'm going to turn my work slightly. I'm going to work the first leaf around this post. We'll be going up this post. So the first stitch, so turn your work slightly, and as you can see, I went just over, I inserted the hook underneath that post. I have a hold of my yarn. Now I'm going to execute a slip stitch. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to chain 4. 2, 3, 4. You can let loose of these yarn tails now. Now we execute a treble. Let me get I want you to see the post. All right. I've yarned over twice. I'm going to insert my hook and execute a treble stitch. Now a half double crochet. You might want to slide that over just a little bit. A half double crochet around that post. Oh, looks like the first part of that leaf. Now a treble. Chain 4 and slip stitch around that post. Make that kind of tight. All right, I'm going to pull the loop up so we can look at this. All right, so we have a leaf. This chain 4 counts as a treble, and then a treble, then a half double crochet, then another treble, then chain 4 and slip stitch. Now this part is a little tricky. We're going to turn our work slightly. Now this leaf will fold back. That will fold back and be the first leaf. Now we need to locate where we are placing our stitches next. And it is, do you see this single crochet? And you see this the top 2 loops of that single crochet, you insert your hook right under the top 2 loops and slip stitch. Chain 4. I have another tutorial, a treble. I have another tutorial that shows how to do the shamrock stitch. I'll place that link below. I'll place all links that pertain to this floating shamrock towel topper down below in the description, so make sure you take time to look. So treble stitch, a half double crochet, all in the top of that single crochet. All right, now you might need to shove just a little bit. That hole opens up just fine. All right, another treble stitch, which is, again, yarn over twice, insert hook, pull up a loop. You now have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now chain 4, which counts as a treble stitch, and slip stitch. Okay, let's take a moment and look. All right, so we have, isn't that cute? We have 2 leaves on the shamrock. Now we'll be placing the next leaf going up this post. But you have to get the loop back on your hook. Tighten that down. Turn your work and locate that 6th double crochet, that 6th post. But now there's something important I need to say. We're going to go up this post, but then we need to put a marker in the top of this 6th double crochet, because we need to place a single crochet right there after the shamrock is finished. That's a very important stitch. So let me grab a marker and put in that stitch. So now we have the marker, we're placing it in that stitch. That way we won't miss or get confused after we finish this 3rd leaf and the stem. So let's get started on the 3rd leaf. This is the post that we're using. So slip your hook under that post to make the 1st slip stitch. Chain 4. Treble. And remember, treble is yarn over twice, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and a treble. Now it's a half double crochet around that post. Treble is next. Let me slide those stitches over. There we go. Make some room for those last 3 stitches actually. So a treble, or 2 stitches, not 3. Chain 4. We're coming to the end of this shamrock. This chain 4 counts as a treble, and now a slip stitch. We are just about finished. Let's take a look. All right, let's flatten this out. Woohoo! All right, it's looking like a shamrock. Really cute. Now, you may need to move some of your base stitches around a little bit to cover the contrasting yarn. But look, our shamrock is open, so we need to close that shamrock. So put the hook back, put the loop back on your hook. Let's do it in the right manner. We didn't need that twist there. All right, now we're going to cross over and slip stitch in that beginning slip stitch. All right, there we go. Now the shamrock is closed. Okay, let's do that one more time. I want you to see that well. Okay, that loop was just a little bit big. I needed that to be tighter, and I wanted the yarn on the back side. There we go. Good slip stitch. That looks better. That covers the contrasting yarn. So now we need to chain 5. This will be the stem. Then we slip stitch into the 2nd chain. Let's look at that again. Let's count these chains. 1, that's the 1st one. This is the 2nd one. So it's a slip stitch. It's hard to get hold of here. Hold on a second. All right, maneuver. All right, the third stitch is a slip stitch, or the third chain actually. And then the fourth chain is a slip stitch. And the fifth chain will be a slip stitch. There we go. We have a nice little stem. Oh, my yarn was splitting. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Now we need to single crochet in that marked stitch. Right there. In that marked stitch, we insert our hook under those top 2 loops. Oh, that's the wrong yarn. Drop that. Okay. Let's do this again. I told you some of this is a little bit fiddly, but once you get used to it, you will just sail on through making these shamrock stitches. Okay, so let's get that yarn tail out of the way and single crochet. But we need to drop the contrasting color and pull the main color back up at the last pull through of this single crochet. There we go. Let me tighten that loop down a little bit. And let's get rid of that marker. Come on. Get out of there. There we go. All right. Now we need to single crochet in the last 4 stitches. There we go. The last 4. All right. Let's look at this. Yeah, those yarn tails are just in the way. Let's get some scissors. So let's just go ahead and cut the lime green. That will keep things from tangling and make the rest of this easier. All right, so we have this behind. Now, how I finish this off, just a moment. Let me speak to you about this. I do a surgeon's knot in the back, and then I just easily thread the yarn tails down into the back of the shamrock stitch. I don't want it to distort the shamrock stitch, but that's how I finish that off in the back, and it should be good to go. Just a surgeon's knot. All right, let's move on. So this next row will be the single crochet, double crochet row. All right, so chain 1 and turn, but we will be skipping this stitch. So we will go back to a base of 9 stitches. We need to skip this stitch. So let's get started. Let me go through this whole row with you. I'm not going to speed the camera up after I get me some yarn. There we go. There we go. Okay. So single crochet in the first stitch, double crochet in this next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. I messed up. Hold on. Let's do that single crochet. There we go. Single crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in this next stitch. And remember, we're skipping this stitch, so we're working across the next 5 stitches. So let's count our stitches to make sure we hit those right. So let's do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Skip this stitch, single crochet in this next stitch, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and single crochet. We are just about finished. Next is the button loop row. All right. Oh, I'm getting excited. It's looking good. So it's chain 1 and turn, and we need to decrease. We need to single crochet 2 together. So act as if you're making a single crochet. So insert in the stitch, pull up a loop 2 times, and then pull through all 3. That's single crochet 2 together. All right, now single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then chain 1. This will be the button loop, and you will skip this stitch. So you'll skip this stitch and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. There's your button loop right there. All right, single crochet in the next stitch. Next is single crochet 2 together. So insert your hook in the stitch, draw up a loop, insert your hook in the next stitch and draw up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, draw through all 3, and then snip, and then pull through and finish off. Let's look at what we have now. A cute little floating shamrock stitch towel topper. The tab has the floating shamrock stitch with a button loop. So you sew the button onto row 2. Now there is a certain technique you need to use when you are sewing on a flat back button. Let me show you. So I have this one finished, and as you can see, that thick button loop goes behind the button very well because I have sewn on a shank. There is a sewing technique you can use that will sew on a shank. That shank will allow for a thick button loop to come around behind that smaller flat back button, and then it won't easily slip out. See, if you don't have that shank, it sticks right there, but if you have the shank, it can pull up, then it will be secure. So one last look at this floating shamrock towel topper. I have a video tutorial on how to sew that button shank. I'll put the link in the description below for you. You button it around an oven handle or a fridge handle. There is also the floating heart towel ring or towel topper. Next will be the floating bunny stitch, and I'm going to stretch my wings this year and try a floating dragonfly. It will have beads. I'm pretty excited about that. Well, it was really good to have you on my side of the mountain. I hope you'll come again soon. Please like and subscribe and ring that bell. I know we ask that a lot, but it really helps me, and I want to help you make unique and fun crochet designs to gift or to sell at a craft show. It's good to have you. Bye.